Oh, you were on that bus?
Indeed. I had a front row seat to the performance, and what a marvelous performance it was. By the by, my name is Melchior. I am but a humble traveling bohemian, a lone wanderer of the world whose only compass is his heart.
You know how many times people say, I am but a humble this or that, and they're just like the most crazy son of a bitch you've ever seen. Not sure what's got him so anxious in the first place. You two should keep an eye on him just in case it happens again. It's good that we were around to help this time, but if he gets on edge like that again, find an adult to help you out, okay? Okay. Oh, right, I got this for you as thanks.
You ain't got much muscle to flex, but your eyes are sharp as a hawk's. But I take back what I said about you being quick on the uptake. If you think you can come at me with a toy gun, then you're in for a world of hurt.
Who is he? Quit scaring the girls, Direwolf. That's my client you're threatening. And for the record, this is our room. You can't just barge in and act like you own the place. I'm only gonna ask you this one last time. What the hell are you doing here? Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Trails to Daybreak. I'm gonna probably stop at some point to find out. I'm gonna stop at some point to find out where Orange is to do some stuff with him. So Ravan goes, "Oh, that's fantastic." The food was wonderful, but I think I would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't so uneasy. I just zeroed in on my food and put everything else out of my mind, which is probably not something a Kruger warrior should be doing. Well, I'm sure the chef would be thrilled that you enjoyed their cooking so much. Nothing wrong with getting the most out of your meals. Eating good food is one of life's finest pleasures. Those Gillettes were out of this world. Gillettes. Anyway, now that we've all calmed down, we should get back to business. So, we know that I've shown up at night multiple times. This is a prime opportunity to ask the people about it. Heck, if we're lucky, we might even run into the woman herself. That'd be great. I imagine most people have gone home, but there's sure to be some who are out and about. Both the residents and the visitors might have some useful information for us. Well, you're the last person I thought I'd bump into on my little errand. Don't tell me you're still hung up over that now. You never change, do you? Shut your filthy mouth. You laid your hands on my baby girl, and you chucked her like she was some damn chew toy. Why am I even trying to lecture you anyway? You wouldn't get it. All you do is break shit. Oh, untwist your panties already. Besides, I'm pretty sure you caught a glimpse of my own prized possession earlier. Now tell me, would such a terrible person take such good care of it? But don't think for a second that you're some saint now. You'll never know what that truck meant to me. Well, at any rate, I'm not here to dig up old wounds. Why make enemies out of allies? It's your choice to be butthurt about it. The villagers have been chatty with me, asking if I'm a new hire. Makes them sad when I explain it, but they've been encouraging me too. It's been a while since someone said something nice to me. Maybe this is my chance to start over. Start moving smartly instead of racking up debts. I help serve meals over at the village hall. It's a relief to see them adjusting well and settling in spite of everything. I can't help but feel like we were missing somebody though. Somebody big. Maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me. That guy in the shades, he sticks out like a real sore thumb. I can tell he's no average Joe, but by the way he drinks, it's like he has a stranglehold on the room, even more than the typical Jaeger. Well, I gotta treat him like any other customer. If he's buying, I'm selling. And he's a shrinking violet. I tell you, but she really puts us. Oh, wait. And it's a shrinking violet, I tell you, but she really puts a smile on my face. My wife's been giving me a hard time the other day, and you know what Annie did? She stepped up to bat for me. That was the happiest I've felt all the year. Love her to death, that kid. You can imagine my wife's pretty headstrong herself. Takes a stubborn one to put up with me. Ken took after us, for sure. Kid's always getting his nose into stuff. But Annie, oh, my sweet little angel. She's just perfect. Where'd she get that from, I wonder? My children are rightly proud of their home. My daughter most of all. She wears the cloth well, for certain. Brings a tear to her old man's eye. Now my son, call it conjecture, but I see the stars in his future. I'm starting to sound like the old friend of mine, fawning over his own kids for moons on end. Perhaps that's just the way us old cougars like to do. Live vicariously through our children and punish any poor soul who lends an ear. I like to think I'm well traveled, but out here I'm picking up a lot of things I never gave much thought in the city. The farmers swear by fresh produce. They say it does wonders for your health. I then met an older man who could use that advice or some supplements. It's interesting to hear their takes on healthy living. Perhaps this is what the bartender meant by making connections.
We're just now hitting peak hours, despite all the commotion earlier in the day. Those passengers don't hold a candle to the usual suspects we get in the evening. It's kind of funny. Dad heaps praise on me for holding down the fort when it's busy, but he doesn't bat an eye at how well I handle the rowdier regulars. I don't know if he just expects that out of me, or if he's easier on them because they're all his age. Yeah, figures the barflies are buzzing tonight. They always rile themselves up whenever something happens during the day. Now I can still keep a handle on them, of course. I'm grateful to the villagers for welcoming us for the night. It's incredibly kind of them. I live in Altair, and I visit Crossbell quite often, but this village has a certain charm I've never experienced before. It's nothing like the hustle and bustle of the city. I feel at ease here. I'm looking forward to Rimaferia, but I'm kinda glad we ended up stopping here.
I remember hearing this story about a hunter who took down some freakish monstrosity out east. Sounds overblown, though. Probably just an urban legend. Reminds me of the stories I used to read as a kid. Or those really got my young heart racing. Since my bike got stolen, I wasn't able to go fishing this afternoon. But you know, I got to experience a lot of things you just can't find back in the city. And I found some good spots here, too. I don't mind the time I spent one bit. Maybe I'll come back with some friends sometime.
Oh no. Don't tell me.
Is that an Orbital bike?
Ain't no Reen Schwarzer.
Whoops.
Let's gather info around the village.
He's really grabbed my attention. I feel like if I take my eyes off him, he'll vanish into thin air. You don't see many mysterious types like him around this village. He's very intriguing. The capital and its townsfolk are just full of suspense. I heard from Ran that Kaina's doing the shopping runs for her job now. She might have even had to head out to some big city for college. I know it's part of her job, but man, it makes me jealous that she gets to go out to the city so much. Thank you so much for helping me find Nero, Ashkar.
No problem. I mean, of course. It's all in a day's work for a bracer trainee. I'm just glad Nero's okay. I don't like seeing you sad. It makes me sad, too.
Aw, thanks, Lashkar. I know you'll be a bracer someday. You're so kind and strong.
Wow. Thanks. Now I want to be a bracer even more. I just wanted to ask, do you wanna, maybe go to the capital sometime? Together, I mean. I just want to see the main guild branch there. You can tag along and we can, tour around.
Well, if you'd let me, then yeah. I bet it'll be really fun seeing the capital together.
I can always count on Lashkar. I'm excited to go see the capital with him, but I wonder why he won't play with me and Ken anymore. Man, why am I getting so nervous? Over this! I gotta make sure I'm worthy of her, and that means becoming a strong bracer she can rely on. Knowing is half the battle, and I think I've got it all figured out. Oh, we're gonna get you. We're closing soon, just a heads up. Honestly, I'd really rather my grandpa close the shop earlier in the day. But he's a stubborn old cougar. It's his way or the highway, and, well, his way is we're open late.
Well,
Things were smoother when my parents were here. We gotta jump through hoops a bit when it's just us two. He wants me to settle down with a woman too, but really? Who's got the time?
My grandson's always telling me I shouldn't stay open so late, but sometimes you gotta get good customers at night, like that beauty who stopped in just a bit ago. Besides, I can still run the shop, so what's the harm in running it late? Ain't no one gonna tell old fucking how to run his shop, no sir. That said, it does stretch me a bit thin sometimes. There's only so much we can do, just the two of us. It was a lot easier back when my son and his wife were here to split up the workload. I just wish my grandson would find himself a good lady. That would put me at ease.
Now, Kent, give him some space, okay? Lashkar's really coming to his own. I can see a dependable young man in the future. He's been talking about how he wants to be a bracer when he grows up. I bet he'd get along well with Annie. She's a smart cookie herself. Annie is a bit apprehensive. I think she gets that from me, but Kent is her polar opposite. I have no idea who he takes after. Well, I do have an idea, being honest, but Gonzalez is still a good man. I understand Kent looking up to him. He wants to play too. I'll play with you for a bit, but don't make Annie worry like that again. Lashkar wanted to play too, but Mommy said not right now. I don't get it. Can we play with him tomorrow then? My little brother Lashkar. He wants to be a bracer when he grows up. It makes me proud as his sister that he wants to help people like that. I joined the faith for similar reasons myself. It feels gratifying to be a source of strength and goodwill for the village. He shares that passion with me. It makes me happy to have him as my brother. I found Lashkar talking with one of his friends just a moment ago, and goodness, has he grown in my time away. Now that I'm back home, I can watch him grow up for myself, together with the goddess.
Today was not your ordinary day. Oh, I'm just relieved that Mayor Wang was able to smooth things over with the passengers. By the time I thought about renting out some of the chapel's rooms, he had already arranged things with the meeting hall instead. He's still sharp as ever.
Okay.
Thanks to him and Goddard, the whole debacle should pass within the next day or two. Watching everyone band together to figure out a solution like that, it makes me proud to serve here, even if it's just my assignment. Oh, Goddess, I pray again for the safety of these good villagers.
I was just talking with the officer about what we should do. No one was at fault for the accident, but nonetheless the passengers' itineraries have been disrupted. Ideally, I'd like to get back on the road and get them through customs by noon tomorrow.
We're finally making some progress here now that it's looking like the bus will be back on the road tomorrow. But we're not out of the woods yet. The night is plenty dangerous and we're not in great shape here as is. The monsters, though, I think we'll have a bracer down here to handle those. There's not much I can do about bracers, as the one officer out here. I know the top brass doesn't like them sticking their noses in on business, but I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. Is that? Huh! Wow, he really is picking this place up. You caught me as I was closing. Is there something you need? You can be my last customer for the day. I'm willing to bet most city shops would just boot you out. They're all business and no personality, aren't they? I'm in no rush. Take what time you need. I don't have much to do back home, so there's nothing waiting on me. I'm sure Goddard knows his stuff, but I just don't know about what Kina's going on shopping so much. I mean, I get it, real-world experience is important and all, but she's my one and only girl. I can't help but worry, you know. She said she wants to go out to Basel. She wants to visit Longli, too, see the Eastern art out there. Those places are worlds away from here. I know Goddard's all gung-ho about it, but gung-ho. He wants her to get some experience under her belt. Ron's just a real worry word sometimes. Personally, I think we should trust Kina's judgment. Our little girl is growing up. If she wants to leave the nest already, that's her choice. I think going out and seeing what the world has to offer will do wonders for her. Of course, I'm still worried about her, and I do wish she didn't spring this on us so suddenly. Welcome back. Hey boss, these guys want to ask you some questions. Have you got a minute?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing you around earlier. Sorry for blowing you off, had to hammer out repairs on the bus.
Oh, not a problem. I'm sure the passengers are much more relieved now. Your apprentice was a big help too. Yup. I handled their every need while you were away. No sweat. Oh, that reminds me, they had one specific question. I remember seeing you talk to that Jaeger lady the other day, before you went in our truck. What was she doing with it?
Oh, her, right. She bought a whole ton of gas as it happened. Hell, she bought every last drop I had of the stuff. I just had it laying around as solvent before she snatched it up. Not something you buy in bulk nowadays, but I'm not poking that hornet's nest. In my business.
Gas? You mean the stuff that old combustion engines ran on? I mean, I guess a Jaeger might have had the uses for it. You never know.
I don't know why Ida would be using those old kinds of machines. And whatever she's doing with it, why would she pick it up now of all times?
Right. You'd think this would be low priority for her.
So just what could she be using it for?
Yeah, I can think of a couple off the top of my head. But we don't have enough info to make any kind of educated guess. We gotta piece together the big picture first.
So that Jaeger was looking for gas, huh? Beats me why she'd lug it all the way out here for gas. But I guess she had her reasons. You guys are looking for her, I take it? I'll help however I can. I was just talking to the boss, and I wanted to ask what he thought about my career trajectory. He told me I'm actually doing pretty well. I was kind of worried I was lagging behind. But I have to keep his advice in mind. You have to practice the basics, or you won't have a foundation to build the rest of your skill set on. He said I might be trying to rush things, and maybe he's right. Maybe I'm still too green for failing to realize that.
Alrighty.
What that Jaeger needed so much gas for, Adios only knows. Maybe her group got caught up in something. She looked pretty grim back there, thinking about it. Either way, you watch out if you decide to poke your nose in there, you hear? We'll help out however we can if you need it. I did finally get to have a sit down with Kinda while I was taking a break from the bus repair. I hope I got it through to her that her professional training ain't something she can just speed through. It takes more time than that. Now she's awfully skilled and she's always looking for ways to improve. It's rare to find that knack for learning. But she can still skip the basics or she'll just trip over herself. She needs to take it step by step. That's how she'll find her own way.
Ugh. I need to, let myself drink some water, because damn. Alright.
That is quite concerning.
Agreed. Should we contact the guild? Did something else happen?
Ah, good to see you again. As you might have heard, we have lent the meeting hall to the stranded passengers for the night.
I went to check on them just now, and we can't find one of the passengers. From the other passenger's description, it was a man with a very elaborate getup and striking appearance.
We looked at the inn, and he didn't check into our room there either. He may very well be in danger if he stayed outside the village.
Van, could that be...
Fits the bill. The self-proclaimed bohemian that a certain jackass was after.
And he left the village earlier too, didn't he?
Maybe he realized he was being followed. Or maybe...
Puppy, no. Go way down.
Well, we got our own business to take care of, but we'll keep an eye out for him. Should we just tell the local officer if we find him?
Yes, that would be much appreciated. I do apologize for having embroiled you in all of this. Now, where could they have gone off to? With more traffic between the big cities, we might need to expect more visitors in our future, and potentially more trouble. We need to figure out how to prepare for that. The way we are will be overwhelmed if we get more big days like this. How we prepare for the future will be most important, both in this context and in general. It's good that we're getting more visitors thanks to intercity traffic, but it seems all these city folks are bringing city trouble with them, not to mention the influx of international traffic. We'll need to put a plan in place to protect this village, its residents, and these new visitors.
With all the traffic lately, I knew trouble would come trundling in eventually. But not this much all at once. Everyone's understandably worried, seeing as the culprit's still at large.
Okay. Looks like we're done.
Wow, that's one cool-looking machine. Is it a vehicle? Yes, this is called an orbital bike. It's kind of like a bicycle that's powered by orbital energy.
Surprised you knew that much. It first became a thing in the Empire 3 years ago, but Vern has been looking into the idea around then too. A year after that, the 4 big manufacturers here started flooding the market with them. This bad boy is Red Star's largest bike, and it's fast as hell. Top speed's 2,300 sledge an hour. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess this thing belongs to the direwolf.
I think you're right on the money. You'd have to be pretty tall to ride it.
Yeah, this model just hit the market, so it probably had a hefty price tag. Definitely heftier than my truck. Figures that filthy enforcer will be rolling in Mira. It's just not fair. He doesn't deserve a sweet ride after what he did to my ride.
I feel like I'm missing something. What exactly happened between you two?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me give you the full rundown. It all started 2.5 years ago.
Oh, wait, could you just give us the short version, please?
Nope, I'm not skimping on any details, so buckle up. A while back, I got a request from the direwolf. He runs with a dangerous crowd, so I was hesitant to take it on at first. The job sounded simple enough, and there was someone in need of help. Figured it couldn't hurt to back him up. The two of us drove someplace and beat the shit out of those scumbags. Then, just when I thought it was all over, they brought out the big guns. A giant Erebonian weapon. It was a 7-arch tall humanoid robot that the Empire's nobles used in a war several years back. I imagine they got it off the black market. I knew immediately that it was out of our league. I told the direwolf we should fall back. But he had another bright idea. That freaking bastard threw my truck at the robot. The attack did the job, of course, and he was able to finish it off barehanded after that. Too bad it came at the expense of my poor baby. He turned her into a pile of scrap metal.
I'm sorry for your loss, but we rode here in it just this morning.
I'm guessing you had it fixed at some point? What? Oh, hell no! You can't fix a car that's been chucked at a giant robot! He gave me this one in a vain attempt to extend an olive branch. It's the same model as my old one. The cheap asshole bought it used. But it was in decent enough condition, I guess. But I ain't accepting his apology. I poured my heart and soul and hard-earned mirror into decking out my old partner with custom parts. I had to do it all over again. And that took 2 years. 2 years! That's why I'm holding on to this grudge till I'm 6 Arj under. Was that a car horn? The hell? Who'd honk their horn in the middle of the night? That's a strange-looking vehicle. It's an off-roader from Weno's Range. They're good for driving on rough terrain. But that emblem is... The Bracer Guild?
That was a longer drive than I expected. Oh, and that looks like the bus. Guess they finished the repair job. I should speak with the driver and the authorities so I can get up to speed on what's been happening. Damn, is that an Ingert pickup truck? Someone's got good taste. Holy crap! Am I really seeing Red Star's monster machine in the flesh? Man, that other Etwas bike is pretty cool too. But this thing is a work of art. What I wouldn't give to get my hands on one of these.
Someone's a fan, huh?
Whoa! Where'd you come from? Don't scare me like that. Were you all passengers on this bus? I'm from the Bracer Guild, and I have some questions. Oh no, not you.
Oh yeah, I remember you. You're the guy who was with Zin and Elaine yesterday. I heard you took a train out of town for business. I'm guessing you wrapped that up early. Were you asked to come here afterwards? No rest for the weary, huh?
Well, it's all part of the job. Everyone else's hands are tied, so I decided to come. Wait, that's not important. My name is Alvis. I'm a C-rank bracer. There's no need to introduce yourself, Van Arkride. I'm well aware of you and your profession. Instead, why don't you explain what you're doing here,
Classified. If you want that info, you gotta join the Arkride Solutions crew. You should be glad we were in the area, though, since we saved that bus and everyone on it. You did? Wait, no, I remember hearing that. I also heard you demanded compensation for it. What kind of man seeks to profit off those in peril? No bracer would ever dream of doing such a thing. Not only that, but you have the gall to charge higher rates than us? Have you no shame? Not really. At least try to come up with an explanation for your actions? Excuse me, may I interject for a moment? I initially had reservations about his handling of the bus incident as well. However, I've come to the conclusion that Van's price was perfectly reasonable, given the risk involved. Also, I would like clarification on one of your points. Why should he be expected to behave like a bracer when he isn't one? Well, Furthermore, the guild receives financial aid from the Epstein Foundation. Unlike you, Van doesn't have that privilege. So it only makes sense that he would charge a little more than you. He has to make ends meet too, you know? I truly admire the guild's ideals, and that's precisely why I'm disappointed to see you chastise one of the people you were sworn to protect and serve. Oh. Got him. First Elaine stuck up for this no-good punk, and now this girl's doing the same? Why? He must have been brainwashed them all. That's the only explanation. Okay, I'll admit I was a bit out of line. And you have my thanks for saving the bus. But I suggest you back off from here, Spriggan. The Bracer Guild's on the case now, so your presence is no longer required. We'll have this monster mystery squared away in no time flat, so if you can mosey on over to the sidelines, that'd be swell. Wow, rude much? I never met a hot-headed bracer before. All the ones I've run into back home are pretty chill. I didn't realize the guild had branches in the Central East. Wouldn't be living up to their ideals if they didn't. He ain't exactly mature, but he's gotta be at least a little strong if he made it to C rank. Might be able to make use of him later.
Van, you do realize you're sounding like a villain, right? I wonder where you ran off to.
Probably the police station. We can make our way on over later.
'Cause every night I will save your life.